Okay, in this video here I'm going to show you some different things you can use to roast your coffee beans. There's quite a variety. I'm not going to get everything that's out there. I'm just going to show you some things that are available, readily available, things you may already have. But the idea being is there are ways to roast coffee beans. Now, the thing about roasting coffee beans is basically, it's like popcorn. You keep them moving while they go through the roast. Now, as far as actually what you listen for, watch for, and what have you, timing and temperature, I'm not going to cover that in this video because it'll be long enough just talking about all the different things you can use to roast your coffee beans with. First thing, we affectionately call this the coffee bong. Okay, it about, I don't know, $30–40 on Amazon. See, here's got a hole in there. You put the beans in here. And it says up to 4 ounces of beans. I tried 4. It was too much. I had some burnt ones. So 3 ounces, and I've done 3 ounces in here. And it did really nice. So 3 ounces in there. Keep it moving. When they're done, you pour them out the handle. It's if you ever wanted to try like roasting while you're camping or something, then hey, this could be an option. Next option, this one you probably have at the house, at your home. Just a frying pan, cast iron preferred. You put your beans in there, the fire going, and you keep them moving with a wooden spoon. Pretty simple. Most everybody's got a cast iron frying pan. Next one, and this is not quite right here. I've got a hairdryer. Actually, you don't want a hairdryer. No hairdryer, okay? No. What you want is a heat gun. You got to get those beans up to about 450 degrees. But you put them in a stainless steel pan. You take a heat gun, swirl them around, keep them moving with that heat gun. And you may have to use a spoon too. And then you can roast them just like that. So that's another option. This here, and you might have seen one of these before. This is, you see that down in there? Yeah. This is kind of dark in there, huh? This is actually a popcorn popper. This is made for popcorn. There you go. Just a pan in there. It's got this bar here with this thing here, and that's what stirs them up for you. This one here is, what I like about this one here is I can do a pound at a time, which most home roast, very few things can you do a pound at a time with. This one here, though, the drawback that I find is that a pound is an awful lot to cool at one time too. You got to be set up to cool that much, and that's just part of what we'll get into later. Now this next one here is not a coffee roaster. However, it looks like one out there on the market, and they will say it's an actual coffee roast. This is actually a popcorn machine. I tried it. It did not roast coffee at all. Pops popcorn fine. But these turn as this bottom heats up. They're out there. They're about $100. You can find them on Amazon. My daughter has one. It does so-so. Personally, I wouldn't spend my money on it, but it does do, I don't know. I can't really comment on it because I don't have one. I've never used it. My daughter has hers, but she didn't really have really great reviews on it. So, I guess it's buyer beware. Anyhow, and in this part, which I've got some more parts, I've got a really nice bullet that we're going to show you. Air popper, some other stuff there, but right now I'm going to show you this. Now this is called the Bmore, which is actually the name of the company. Let me see here. Yeah, see there, Bmore. Yeah. Anyhow, so this is a chaff catcher, because you do get chaff. It's the outer part of the beans as they roast it. Chaff falls off the outer shell or what have you. It has a drum that you put your beans into. And back in there, these bars here is what heats up. When this drum's in there turning, and then when you go to cooling, it releases all the chaff into the chaff catcher. And quite frankly, if you have one, I recommend you get a little handheld vacuum, because you got to get in every nook and cranny and get all that stuff out so it don't catch fire next time. This one also has controls. Has how much weight coffee you're doing. It'll do up to 1 pound. And then it'll have different pre-programmed roasting styles, and if you get into roasting, you'll see that there's a lot of different styles out there, different roasting techniques, you know, when to add heat, when to decrease heat, that kind of stuff. But I guess that's part of what makes it fun. But this is about 500 on you know, through one of your suppliers. Most suppliers of green coffee beans also sell roasting equipment. There's a bunch out there that I'm not going to cover, but I got a couple of more. I'll be back with those here in just a second.
So this is the Nostalgia Popcorn Popper. It's a pretty simple thing to do when you're roasting coffee. It's perfect for beginners, for anybody that has never roasted coffee before. This is very simple. You put the coffee in, and you turn it on with one single switch, and you make sure that the beans continually move. And when you do that, it's going to roast. This right here is a hot top coffee roaster. Hot top is a drum roaster. So if you'll take a look over here, you'll see that it's actually it's got a drum inside there. The beans will rotate. The heat element is on the side. There's a fan built in too. So this will give you a good even roast, and it'll move the beans for you, and you can actually have a good visual there. Another good point of a hot top is the cooling tray. When the beans reach the level of readiness that you prefer, they will eject here into a cooling tray that will spin them. You have right here, you have control of heat, you have the control of the fan speed, and you have the control of when to eject the beans. This gives you a constant temperature of what the environment inside is like, so you'll be able to measure and consider exactly how you want this roast to go on that. This is the Hot Top KN8828B2. B2K, but it doesn't say K here, but there is a higher upgraded version of a Plus that you can plug in your computer via USB and use coffee roasting software. This one doesn't have that capability. This one is all done inside here, but it does have some preset settings that you can go off of and roast with.